Good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to FYI. Wherever you're joining us from, lots of you joining us on Twitter. Thanks for all the love at that end. Lots of you joining us on YouTube. All of our tubers, thanks for joining us from that end as well. And those of you who are going to be joining us from Facebook, good morning to each and every one of you. We're happy. We're delighted that you folks are out with us. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Some folks are going to be coming in from that. And whatever page, whatever platform you're joining us from, ensure that you are subscribed, you're following, you're liking, you're sharing, all of that good stuff. Rohan Basantram, happy Monday. It's Monday, the 15th day of April already. Debbie Collins is with us and Ayabo Natasha. Good afternoon, Ayabo. Ayabo is in Europe, in UK in particular. Good afternoon, Ayabo, joining us all the way from on that side of the Atlantic. It's morning where we are, just after 8 o'clock. Evelina Whitaker is with us, and Denise, and all the other folks. Denise Samuels, good morning to you. Claire Alexis, Charlie Richmond is joining us as well, and Petrol Thorne and Nelson. Good to see you guys. Orwin Don Cook, Stacey and Stoll. Guys, we're happy that you're here with us. Share the live wherever you're joining us from. We are more than delighted that you good folks are here with us. We were ensuring at our end show that we're going through to all of the pages where you guys join us from. Good to have you guys. Urban Dawn, how are you doing? How are things there in Region 3? Folks, quite a weather this morning. It's raining on our end. I know some of you are going to be laughing at us because you're going to be saying, you all ain't seen no weather yet. How is the weather where you guys are joining us from this morning? It's raining cats and dogs in lots of places in Region 4 especially. I don't know those folks, Alana Tang and the other folks who are joining us from places like Port Kaituma and those places. How is the weather in other parts of Guyana? Those of you who are joining us from the diaspora, a very good morning and welcome to FYI. How is the weather where you guys are joining us from? You know, in Region 4, weather.com, where we pick up our news and information from on weather, they're telling us it's 28 degrees where we are, but it feels like 30 outside, 28 degrees, but they're telling us there's a 30% chance of rain today, and that increases as we go into the afternoon. Folks, heading to Bathsheba, there's a 72% chance of rain as we go into the afternoon, and even overnight, 77% is rain whole day, folks. According to weather.com, we can expect rain all day, from 37% chance of raining in the morning, 72% rain in the afternoon to 77 overnight. It's going to be May, June rains are here. I guess it's safe to say that the May, June rains are here. Stephanie Pearson, good to see you, and Vashti Magnot, Yolanda Thomas, and all of those other folks who are joining us. Yeah. It's quite a rainy morning at our end. I do think we have a live shot we might bring in shortly from on the East Bank, coming in from Diamond. I do think we have a live shot, and one of the things we suffer here is thanks to the internet is lots of buffering. We don't want to show you that image buffering. You know, hopefully soon we can do much better. I see a company rolling out 5G. My God, to test them out. You see how the 5G is working. So our company rolling out 5G services. Guys, we hope that all is well at your end. Suzette Washington says it's a rainy morning. Susan, where are you joining us from? Do let us know where you're joining us from. Siobhan McDonald, technician on duty, says loud and clear. Thanks, Siobhan. Suzette says it's a rainy morning on the East Coast. Wow. Yep. So it's raining on the East Coast. Suzette is letting us know that. I know in central Georgetown, it's raining as well. Bring your umbrellas, according to the forecast. Rain all day. Gil Alicok. I know some of you would rather the rain than the cold where you guys are joining us from. I know some of you would rather it like that. Yeah, we can take what we get right now and wait for what we want. Orwin Cook says a marvelous Monday to all of us. Yep. Thanks, Erwin. And Gil Alicok is joining us. Ram Singh joining us as well. Guys, if you're joining us on our YouTube platform, ensure you are following us. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button to our channel there on YouTube. Make sure you do that for us. Hit that subscribe button. And also, you're joining us on Facebook. Follow those pages where you're joining us from. the hundreds of you who are tuned in right now, ensure you're following us on all of those pages. I had a fantastic Saturday into Sunday at Bartica. How did you guys spend your weekend? Had a good Saturday, a full Saturday at Bartica. Talked to a lot of people, shook a lot of hands, did a lot of walking as well in Bartica. Got a little lost too. Bartica is absolutely beautiful. Bartica is a place of wonder. Kamal Prasad, good morning to you, wherever you are this morning in Bartica or elsewhere in the world, wherever you're joining us from. Good to have you, Kamal, and I see Minty Graves Andy is here with us as well. Good morning, Minty. Thanks for joining us. I see we have Sean Fortune, Donna Joseph, Sharon Joseph as well. All the Josephs are on this morning. Good to have you guys on with us. Let's turn our attention to some of what we're picking up, guys, in the news this morning. Some of what we're picking up in the news this morning, and I do think we have a shot of what's happening on the outside for you guys. Do we have that? I think we do. A shot of what's happening on the outside. This is Diamond on the East Bank, close to where we are. That's a live shot from Diamond on the East Bank. Yeah. It's a good morning outside. You can see it's a little damp at that end too. That's a live shot. Ronaldo Cassius, thanks to Pixel Guyana, that has a lot of cameras positioned on the East Bank there. They have a lot of cameras on the East Bank, and hopefully when they have cameras throughout Guyana, we can pick up on some of that too. So we're hoping Pixel Guyana Inc. Nothing but the very best and success in their business venture in this regard. Lots of cameras on the East Bank. And as you can see, seems to be a smooth flow, at least coming down from Diamond. A little traffic building up there, heading up to Craig and Sue's Dyke in general, heading up in that direction. Some hiccups at that end, but that's just some of what we're following, folks. And happy and delighted again to have all of you guys here with us. I have says lots of traffic. I have you got more traffic by you. Don't come wrong with like that, right? But you know you got more traffic by your end. Lots more traffic, So don't make it seem as though we got anything big and out of the way. don't let it seem that way, guys. Again, that's a live shot from on the East Bank, and we wanna pick up on some of the things we're following in the morning papers today. We're gonna pick up on just a couple of them, the things we're following in the morning papers. A couple of the things we're following in the morning papers. Guys, how are you all doing? We're delighted again that you all are here with us. A couple of things we're following in the morning papers. Good to have you folks here with us, wherever, again, you're picking us up from. See Gail Hollycock saying lots of traffic. Gail, don't make it look so. Gail, New Jersey got more traffic. Your traffic is more than that. Gail and all the other folks, Tommy Gibbs says, I know everybody there. Yabo in the UK, Gail in New Jersey, Tommy somewhere in the world, Vesta Hardy's where you there? Vesta, you in Vesta. Remind me, you're in Region 3? Vesta Hardy. I know it's somewhere wrong these parts. Vesta, remind me. Or is it Region 5? That's it. Let him. Region 9. Wendy Atkinson. Wendy, how are you doing? Good morning, Wendy. And all the other folks who are joining us this morning. Ethelene Peters is here too. Tommy Gibbs in Brooklyn. Tommy says he's joining us from Brooklyn. Folks, you're picking us up from our YouTube channel especially. And all the other places, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you pick us up from. Subscribe. If it's Facebook, follow those pages. Click that follow button. Let where you're joining us from. Right? Let us know where you're joining us from. Roxanne Campbell is here with us and all the other folks. Rena Cummins. I know Rena's on the East Bank. Rena's between Peters Hall, Providence. That stretch. Ramsburg. Yep. On the East Bank there. Yep. Really, you see what they did to the vendors at Providence, girl? You see what they did to the vendors there? Yeah. Wicked set of folks we got to deal with, Wicked administration we got to deal with. Yep. Sheila Boyd Child says, Queens in the house. Rocking and coming from Queens. Bantu King, I know, is somewhere out there in Jersey area. Somewhere out there, I think, in Jersey. Long Island. Bantu King in Long Island. GT Boy is here as well, and all the other folks. Folks, some of what we're following this morning. How are y'all doing? We hope that you guys are great. Thanks for joining us. Little is joining us from Pennsylvania, Little Prague. Pennsylvania is a very important state in the Democratic firewall, Democratic Party firewall there in U.S. Pennsylvania plays an important role. And I heard it's a beautiful state. I've never been to Pennsylvania, But I'm coming up that side in a couple of days, let's tell. Let me see what we can do. Coming up that side in a couple of days. Well, not a couple of days, a couple of weeks to be precise. Let's tell Prague. We can be coming to you guys live from New York. We like show up like that. We can be live from New York. Folks, some of the things we're following in the morning papers. Jamie Foxx, they're telling us. Jamie Foxx, health has improved. We saw one of his co-stars from Fresh Prince. Is it Stephanie? Is the young lady's name? We saw her making some comments over the weekend in terms of Jamie Foxx' health. All we haven't had anything specific. Some folks have said there've been rumors that Jamie Foxx would have suffered a stroke, and some folks, well, that's the rumor, right? But largely, it's been said he has a medical incident, a medical, something of that nature, without stating anything specific. His daughter also made some comments over the weekend too about his health, and those comments seem to suggest that Jamie Foxx's health is improving. Right? Jamie Foxx's health is improving. Lynn Fernand says she's looking forward to seeing me. I hope it's me she's talking. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys as well. Lynn, and I don't know if Lena is with you or Lena is closer to our end, but looking forward to seeing you guys as well. Dolly and all the other folks joining us, yep, they're telling us that Jamie Foxx's health is improving. We're happy about that. We're happy. We're tremendously happy that Jamie Foxx's health is improving. What else could we ask for? What else? Y'all pray for him. Pray for him. Fantastic actor. Very talented, fantastic actor, singer, musician, comedian, you name it. When God was giving talent, he gave Jamie Foxx a lot. Some for me, some for you, borrow some from all of us. Very, very, very talented. We wish him nothing but the very, very best. John Jones, we see you there. We see Warren also joining us from Long Island, another brother who joins us from Long Island. Good to see you, Warren. Great to see you, Warren, as a matter of fact. Great to see Warren here and all the other folks who are joining us. Great to see you guys joining us from those, I don't want to say necessarily far-flung places in the world, but you're all joining us from some, from a lot of places, a lot of places. So that's one of the things, folks, that's brewing at our end. They're telling us Jamie Foxx. And again, we saw some comments attributed to his daughter, and then his co-star, is it Gracel, who co-starred with him in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She also made some comments over the weekend, which all seem to suggest that Jamie Foxx is much improved, much improved. We're happy about that. We're happy about that, tremendously happy about that. We don't want to see anybody, unduly detained with health issues, And I say Jamie Foxx is a fantastic actor, fantastic actor. They're telling us that Ayabo can win here, and Miller and all the other folks who join us from Europe, UK, London in particular. They said that UK's autonomous buses are now taking on passengers. Yeah, some of y'all would say, Zobia, you go in a vehicle here and see nobody driving. Ayabo, you want to be at our end and we want to be at your end. You go in a taxi, in Georgetown or somewhere in the country, a bus and nobody driving. You plunge out. You plunge out, the blood of Jesus. You plunge out and leave that. Well, in UK, they've launched their autonomous buses. Folks, that's where we are in the world, That is where we are in the world. When we tell you guys go and look and learn about artificial intelligence, AI, and we ain't joking. You better do your homework. I could see Rena and Amabel and so on. Amabel never the buses with the cars and so on there. So no trouble there. But I could see Rena plunge out a taxi. One of those taxi services, roll up by Rena, and nobody drive. Rena said, what stories they say? Them bikes. The jumpy bird. No, the jumpy bird is the autonomous vehicles. Yep. And this used to be the stuff of science fiction. Ghana nowadays, Tessa Waterman. This used to be the stuff of science fiction. And now you have autonomous vehicles. Just now you jump in your car, your Beatrice, and Gail, you say, take me home. Years back we used to watch Knight Rider. You remember that? I sure my age now. Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff. My Jesus. Remember what was the name of the car in Knight Rider? I can remember it. I'm testing you. Right? 3-letter word. A 3-letter name, I think, was 3 letters. Right? John Jones, let me see I'm testing your age now. Gwyneth, Knight Rider. David Hasselhoff. What was the name of the car? Oh, look, Tommy jump in. Tommy showing his age. Kit. Correct, and correct is right. That was the name of the car. Some of you might be able to name your autonomous vehicle. Kit, take me home. Well, some others plunging out. Look, some of you all showing your age. Marlon McKen and Amabel Clement jump into. I thought it was a set of teenagers we got. Sheila Boyd jumping as well. Kit, take me home. Well, UK and them boys showing up with the autonomous buses and such and so forth. This is where we're going, folks. Very soon. This is going to be on the market, retail. You buy an autonomous car. You can tell the driver, take me home. Carry me by the rum shop. Carry me around by Kwamina guest house. Right? When you open the car door, the thing's already brewing right there in your fridge. Roxanne one is what we're talking about. Roxanne here. Roxanne, how you doing? Good morning, Roxanne. Aaron, you got your 2 Guinness thing right there, and your 3 beers, right? And your box of cook-up, your box of fried rice in this case. Your box of fried rice right there. Might even get it in a brown paper bag, right? I have say we as big people. I love that. Rock and come in with that. We as big people. That's what Ayabo says. Don't come wrong with funny. We as big people. That's how we like it. That's how we like them. Big people. So just now, folks, we got some autonomous vehicles on our roads too. Just now, banking wrong by Diamond Site. Some autonomous vehicle. See some of you say, Obia. Don't do it. Look what else we following, folks. Locally made chocolate. Some folks in Mabaruma's women's group, they're responsible for this locally made chocolate. But I think they need a name, folks. The name of this chocolate is just chocolate bars. It needs a name. It needs something. You understand? The thing is chocolate. It's not PR. What would be a good name for this chocolate bar? It's just chocolate bars. I think you need something more exotic than that. Right? You need something a little more exotic. But it's locally made, and we want to congratulate this women's group. We want to congratulate this women's group. Locally made chocolate. Right? Yolanda telling me, relax myself. We got a lot of big people here. Relax myself. We got a lot of big folks here. Right? So this is a Mabaruma women's group. Mabaruma chocolate bars. Mabaruma sound a little harsh. Mabaruma. It needs to roll off the tongue almost effortlessly. Right? Effortlessly. Mabaruma. Seem to got a little thing. Ganesh Mahipal, MP Ganesh Mahipal says, Choco Loco. Yes. You might be a little loco this morning. You got to watch it. Choco Loco. You think about this selling in the in the capitals of this world, France and don't just think local market. Think international branding. What we gonna? Ganesh has a revised version. Mabaruma Choco Loco. You might get more lettuce than you get chocolate bar, right? Kishan Sharma says Guyana's best cocoa chocolate. Cocoa chocolate. You might be onto something there, right? Chanel Smith Daniel said Ganesh loco long now. Well, shots fired. We just come up the chocolate. Ganesh, refer to that comment there by Chanel Smith Daniel. Chanel says you loco long now. Shots fired. Shots fired. I see GT Boy says sweet kiss chocolate bars. That sound like something closer to home. Sweet kiss chocolate bar. Rena says M, just M. M chocolate bar. Perhaps M for Mabaruma. M chocolate bar. I like the sweet kiss one. Because chocolate is associated with lovers for some reason. Right? For some reason. Sweet kiss chocolate bar. I like this, just chocolate bars. It doesn't sell. When people hear the name, you must experience it one time. Right? But again, congrats to the women's group there in Mabaruma. Women's group there in Mabaruma. Congrats to them. Right? Congrats to them. I'm looking for some more of those names. But thank you, folks. Thank you. Locally made. Congrats. Locally made chocolate. Right? Chocolate bars. Look for it in the supermarket, folks. Look for it in the supermarket. And I'm certain if there's one place you could get it is GGMC's. That's the name of the place. That sells all the local products here in Robin Alexander Street. But check out that. That's our local shop. Certain you can get a bar there. Right? Chocolate bars. Check out GGMC. See if you might get a bar there. Right? You can test for yourself. I see Letel says Mab bars. M-A-B bar. Mabar. You might be onto something there. Mabar. GMC. Keshan Chairman says GMC. Where am I getting GGMC from? GGMC. Ghana Gold and Miners here. That's what I'm probably thinking. GMC. Kishan says, look what else we're tracking, folks. They're telling us today, former Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, and retired now, Colonel, is retiring officially. Right? You see how I'm mixing myself up there? Retiring officially. Right? But they're telling us, folks, Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, who's also a colonel in the army, she's retiring, I think, from both positions. Both positions. So we want to wish, Anne McLennan all the very best. And part of what she said today, and I saw one of the headlines in the morning papers, is that being an army officer made her a better judicial officer. Being an army officer has made her a better judicial officer. And we want to wish Anne McLennan, former Chief Magistrate, retired Colonel, all the very, very best. All the very best. Chief Magistrate looks as young, looks as fresh as ever. I can't believe, this young lady is retiring already. Right? Can't believe she's retiring already. Very interesting. Very interested to see what Anne McLennan does next. At 55, you're still very young. At 55, you retire. I can't see Chief Magistrate being older than 55 and looking so wonderful. Right? But she's retiring officially. She went off on pre-retirement leave a couple of weeks ago. And they're telling us today is the day the Chief Magistrate officially retires. Right? Right? Gail Beckel says she's heading back off of her lunch break. Gail, we want to thank you for joining us. Gail Beckles, Roger. Gail, thanks for joining us. She says her lunch break is up and she is heading back to work. Thanks for joining us, Gail. Thank you so much for joining us. You could tell Gail is not living in Guyana. You gotta ask. Lunch break, we got the phone talking on the TV. We got the phone talking right there. You could tell. Gail, thanks for joining us. Gail says she's heading back to work. Linda Thomas, rather. Michael Smith from Sean Smith Daniels are watching comments too. Right? Linda Thomas, thanks for joining us as well. And we want to say again, congrats to former Chief Magistrate, retired Colonel Anne McLennan. And I am very interested to see what the Chief Magistrate does next. Still got a lot of years before her. A lot of years before her. You know, and probably goes in, probably she's going to go off into private practice now because she's a qualified lawyer, hence Chief Magistrate. Probably goes off into private practice and does some more good work on the other side of the bar. Cheryl Pancham, we see you there, and Edward Gonzalez and all the other folks who are joining us. Thanks for joining us. Look at some what we're following, folks. Internationally, a lot of things happening internationally. In Thailand, they had a major upset. Have you guys been following that? In national news, the opposition in Thailand, oh, Father. Whether or not they'll be allowed to govern is another story, because that's a place infamous for coups. Infamous for the army taking over. They beat the army soundly. That's like how them boys can get a beating. Hold on, man, hold on. God don't like ugly. The army has had a obsession with ruling in Thailand. You know, they have a dynasty there with some state function. But the army, as soon as a civilian government come in, they take over. You know, there's been a fine line with the royal family there and the army, and the legislature is slanted in the army's favor. How they govern this, a unique system. We don't have the time to discuss all of it. But the opposition party, being led by a very young man, give them a sound beating overnight. I think more than 80 or 90% of the votes went to the opposition. A sound beating. The army got the muscles. So whether the opposition will be allowed to come in and govern, or even if they come in, for what time period, them men licorice for power, like some folks we know here. Licorice for power. They won't allow the people to come in and govern for whatever is the tenure, 4 or 5 years, and try to make a difference. No, they can put every spoke in the wheel. The general there, who is part of the, I think the president, if not prime minister of Thailand. It's already in the morning. Forgive us. He had a little to say overnight when they were asking him, trying to get some reactions out of him from this beating that they got. Folks, it wasn't licks. This was a beating. I think it was I'm not exaggerating, but about 90% of the votes. The people just fed up with them. Fed up. And that's the story. No, you can't impose yourself. It's like them boys say with all this rigging. You know, they're trying with all of these forged signatures, dead people and so on. Don't impose yourself. So whether or not this opposition, now the incumbent government, but not incumbent government, elected government elect, you know, will be allowed to come in and govern for any period of time. That's the other thing people are watching here. But a song beating. Right? So congrats to the folks there in Thailand. Congrats to our brothers there in Thailand. And some very, very young people too. Some very, very young people, you know, step forward and making a difference. Right? They got similar situations here, and in cases far worse. And those people still step up to be counted. We could borrow a couple of things from them. One of our blessings, we've never had the army intervene. Right? We've never had the army intervene in this way in which they have in Thailand. right? And they said this is the movement is called Move Forward, the youth-led Move Forward Party. Yeah, let me move forward, man. Some people in this country can't move forward, you know. That's why I said that there is a lot that we can learn here, right? Thailand's reformist opposition has won the most seats in the largest share of the popular vote in a general election after voters resoundingly rejected the military-backed parties that have ruled the Southeast Asian nation for nearly a decade. You know, listen, resoundingly rejected them, right? Youth-led, Move Forward. That's the name of the movement, right? Move forward. Let me move forward. And you guys know we're not exaggerating when we say, when we listen to some folks, every time they talk, they go back to Burnham. You know, Burnham do this. You know, Burnham the bandflower. Lot of fake news. Right? Burnham did this. Burnham did that. Burnham did that. Yeah. That's how they govern. That's how they operate. Always looking back. You know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Let me move forward. Like Thailand, in the name of God, let me move forward. Look at us following. Turkey had an election too over the weekend. It was a big weekend. We just tell you all that. Turkey had an election. Theirs is very close. Very close. Right? Very, very close. Tayyip Erdogan has been in there for a long time, about 20 years. He got close to 59% of the vote, and the opposition has about 46, 47%. None of the parties got the 50% that is needed to form the government. And so it looks as though they're going to have a runoff there. Right? Somewhere, I think, around the 28th of May, they're going to have a runoff election in Turkey. I think that's the date we saw. And Erdogan has been in there for about 20 years. Right? 20 years. He doesn't give victory speech though. Even though he is saying, oh, let us be patient with GCOM. Let's be patient with GCOM. He don't give victory speech. So that's a tight race that folks are watching there in Turkey. A very, very tight race. And they look as though they're going to be heading, that's what the pundits there are saying, looks as though they're going to be heading to a runoff later on in May. That's how it looks. Zelensky's been making the rounds. He made a surprise trip to Great Britain over the weekend. He touched in Rome, met with the Pope over the weekend. He's been busy on that side, and a lot of things are happening at that end where it concerns Zelensky. So he was in Paris too. He met with Macron, right? He met with Macron there in Paris. He met with the Pope over the weekend. He met with UK's Prime Minister over the weekend. He's been busy, right? And some additional information we're picking up out of the Ukraine, you know, in that Bakhmut region. Well, over the weekend, the chief of that, what do you call that, mercenary group, Wagner, saying that Russian troops were fleeing areas near Bakhmut. Is this a turning point? Remains to be seen as well. But Wagner has been that mercenary group that's been hired by Russia to do some of the heavy lifting there in the Ukraine on their behalf. Yep. We saw some additional information as well, in which Zelensky is reported to have said that the counteroffensive in Bakhmut is picking up momentum, which might be responsible for what the Wagner chief said about the Russian troops fleeing that area. But these are some of the things, folks, that we're watching. Macron, Zelensky, no doubt, busy. Belarus, their leader there, Lukashenko, is reported to be very ill. He missed a very, very important meeting, a very, very important event there there over the weekend, which has only increased speculations as to his own health issues. And this is another one of the strong men in that region there. And again, his own absence, they're telling us, from this significant event. I'm trying to refer to my notes because we want to give you guys valid and credible information. That has raised a lot of concern. He hasn't been seen in public since last Tuesday, and this is there was a ceremony in the capital there, Minsk, capital of Belarus, and again, the speculations have deepened that he is seriously ill. Right? That's part of the speculation there, that Lukashenko is very, very ill. He's one of the strong men there in that region. Yeah, they like Vladimir Putin, right? Regionally, folks, some of what we're following. Interesting election over the weekend. I see some of you guys are already commenting with the Ghana Press Association. Right. All the boy want to run to court, and sir. Birdnest, Trinidad. You know, a couple days ago, we told you of gunmen that went into that restaurant and shot 3 men dead. All of them died on the spot. 2 brothers were part of that, lost their lives, and they were buried over the weekend. That's part of what we're picking up on here. You know, those 2 brothers lost their lives. And again, a lot of people watching that kind of violence in Trinidad. We saw some comments coming out of the leader of the opposition there, Kamala Besessar, also over the weekend, saying there are too many murders in Trinidad. Too many murders. And lots of folks are becoming very impatient with the new commissioner of police to try to stem that tide. And these 2 brothers is Brian Perus, who is a childhood friend of Brian Lara, and he had a mouthful to say about crime in Trinidad as well. Brian Lara. So this is Brian Perus and Dale Alexander. They were laid together. They were laid to rest together as brothers. The 3rd person was Brandon Charles, who was the 3rd man shot in that restaurant there in Trinidad. You know, thoughts and prayers are with their family. They were the 3 persons: Brian Perus and Dale Alexander and Brandon Charles. They were the 3 persons. 2 brothers laid to rest just yesterday. Yep. Of what's happening in the region. And finally, an off-duty policeman, finally in news we're covering in the region, hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, they say. After foiling a robbery, he was in the right place at the right time. You know, and he had to protect the loss of life and other things, right? And this is in Antigua and Barbuda. You know, respected policemen everywhere whose lives are in danger all the time. You know, so this happened in St. John's Saturday night. They said, according to reports, the officer was shot in his right knee as he exchanged gunfire with bandits who were in the process of robbing the Roti King restaurant on St. Mary Street. All right, this is a fantastic place to eat. There's a huge road. What's up shut here in St. John's, Antigua, St. Mary Street. He was in the right place at the right time to foil that robbery, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Those are some of the things happening, folks, regionally closer to home in the 592, folks. Some of what is brewing on our end, you know, some of what's brewing on our side. That's what we're following, folks. A U.S. fugitive sitting right here, you know, very quietly wanted for sexual assault on the 8 children, among some other things. Them boys renditioned him over the weekend. Found him somewhere on the East Coast. And the folks renditioned him one time. All kinds of people. You know, like, you're running from the law. What says head to Guyana? You know, what in his mind says head to Guyana? This could be a safe place. This is an American citizen, right? This is an American citizen. What says to him? GT side, you know, what's on his radar? What is he picking up on? That bit there, that bit right there is a little concerning to me, right? They're telling us that Sabic News says that he has waived his extradition rights. Right? This is Bobby Allen Stark. Bobby Allen Stark. He waived his extradition right, and them boys flying out. Flying him out. I'm looking for the state in the notes that he's wanted in. But he's wanted for Colorado. He's wanted it in Colorado. Right? For sexually assaulting a child. There in Colorado. Right? There's where he's wanted. Sexually assaulting a child. Them boys gone with him. Gone with him, just so. Yeah. What made him think Guyana is the place I should go? You know, that's what's kind of gnawing at me. That's what's gnawing at me. Like, what made him think Guyana is where I'm going to go? You know? That's fascinating. Over the weekend, folks, we were in Bartok, as I told you. Had a chance to be part of a meeting there on behalf of the Alliance for Change. And we were looking at some work the coalition in general is doing there, picking up some of what's happening on the local government campaign trail as well. You're going to have to join us tonight for that, for what's happening on the local government campaign trail in Bartica. We spoke with former regional chairman. We spoke with the campaign manager for APNU there, Estavia Lake, on what's happening in local government. We're going to talk about that tonight in the ring, but we want to show you some of what happened at that meeting. Our very own Director of Finance was at that meeting as well and spoke to some of the party leadership who was gathered there. As you know, AFC is in the process of rebuilding, re-energizing, refocusing, you know, on the base of his party. And they had a meeting over the weekend there in Bartica with some of the party leadership in Bartica. We were in Region 3 weekends back in Region Hope. We were in Essequibo last weekend, and we got a chance to be in Bartica. And it was so beautiful in Bartica. I wish we had more time, and we're going to talk about some of what's happening on the local government campaign there in tonight's broadcast in the ring. But this is some of what took place at that meeting of the Alliance for Change in Bartica over the weekend. Take a look. Take a listen.
It's like, I'm happy to see persons here. Finally, I must say, I finally have this sense of hope when it comes to persons' willingness to speak out against the discrimination that they are facing. It's very important. As David was speaking about the flood relief, I want to say that at the level of Parliament, I don't want to miss this point. At the level of Parliament, $10 billion was allocated to flood relief. It came under the office of the Prime Minister, and I deal with finance. I've been tasked with shadowing finance. We stood in the National Assembly, each and every one of us, And we question one after the other. We question the Prime Minister as to how he intends to share this money out, who he's going to give this money to. He couldn't answer any questions from us. None whatsoever. Those videos are live. You can go check it back for yourself. Because they had no structure in how they want to share the money, because as always, they want to come and budget to the level of the National Assembly, taxpayers' dollars, and they want to do it in a willy-nilly way that they can actually just put those money in the pockets of their friends and family. I can tell you there were hundreds of complaints that came in as to who got those money and who didn't get, because persons that never farmed in their life, that didn't see any flood waters, got flood relief money, and persons that actually suffered didn't see those. So it's a big problem. So I understand completely the plight of persons, particularly farmers that is here today coming from the table and so forth. I have to say, as a member of the Alliance to Change, we have been out there and we have been speaking on behalf of everyone here. And I think that I am particularly proud, very proud about the local leadership in Bartica for the Alliance to Change. We have people that are not afraid to get out there and speak out. And it's something that everyone here should be extremely proud of.
Yeah, that's some of what went down over the weekend there in Bartica, folks. And again, we're going to be talking with some of the guys on the ground there with local government elections tonight on tonight's broadcast. We also took a look at some of the projects that are happening in Bartica. You know, the roads that have been done under the coalition stand up there very strong. Chanel and Ganesh and so on, they stand up very strong. You see them roads that are being done by the PPP, oh Jesus. Some finished as recent as 2-3 months ago, already falling apart. Already falling apart. And we took a look at some of that. Took a look at some of that as well. You know, the opening some new scheme for housing. You can see the condition of the road in some of those places. You know, Barticians, like people in any other part of the country, hurting terribly thanks to this administration. And we're going to focus some more on that tonight. But that's some of what happened at that meeting that the Alliance of Change had in Bartica over the weekend. We were just meeting with some of the party leadership there in Bartica. Some new folks were elected to office to lead the charge for the Alliance of Change there in Bartica. We want to congratulate all of them. Talking about political parties, a new political party was launched last week. Was it last week or over the weekend? Last week, you know, a new political party led by Karen Bruce. This is the guy, you know, who had his house shut up a couple of weeks ago, and who some seem bent on proving is mud water. I don't know what's the fascination linking Karen Bruce to the mud water character, but he's of that fame and launched a political party over the weekend. We're happy for them. We're happy. You know, we're happy. But, you know, we don't have to go very far to show and to see that political parties, that's the easy thing, you know. Launching is the easy part. Maintaining political party, right? That's the hard part. The group's name, the political party's name is Movement for Unity and Democracy. Movement for Unity and Democracy. And it's the aim, they say, at promoting unity and democracy in Guyana. And they were launched on Friday at the National Library. They were launched on Friday. You know, a lot of political parties were launched in the last election. Folks, where are they now? You know, a lot of political parties had a lot of lofty goals. A lot of lofty goals. Ganesh, how old is the People's National Congress reform? Chanel, y'all can tell them, this is not easy business. Maintaining a political party is not easy business. Alliance for Change has been at it over 17 years now. It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy business. You think it's easy? Chanel and Ganesh on the live could tell you, this is no walk in the park. The launching is easy. It's the easy part. You all remember, folks, Ghana is a fascinating place. You remember a couple of years ago, I'm talking 2 or 3 years ago, if so long, a fellow launched a political party. I think he was at the National Library too. He alone was sitting at the table, and the man says, members of the head table, you know, invitees, journalists, he alone at the head table, you know. Politics sometimes could make you a little loco. You all remember that? Don Sullivan says since 1957, People's National Congress. You know, Don Sullivan says since 1967, the Ghana says it's been here more than 60 years. More than 60 years. Largest political party locally. You think it's easy? You know, people will see the glitz, the glamour. Some people think it's about likes and share. It's not about that. You got to have a lot of stick-to-itiveness, right? And it takes a lot of money too. It takes a lot of money too. Folks, ask Ganesh and Chanel on the live and the other folks who you know in politics on the live. They have a presence in every region in this country. You think you just wake up and say, hey? You know, some people believe because they're popular on social media, you know, you can make them popular at the ballot. Hi. Learn the hard way. They learn the hard way. But I'm happy personally. Personally, this is not a big down on anybody. I'm personally happy, and I want to say congratulations to those folks. Welcome. Welcome. You know, the test is not day one with the launch. The test is where you are a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. A lot of people started in the last election. How many parties we had in the last election? 40. What of them there now? TCI and TNM and who want to disintegrate? Right on the precipice. Right on the verge. Some of them just disintegrate. Just like that. You know, but we wish you guys the best. You know, having more political parties can only argue well for, you know, the democratic process in any countries. And we look forward to you guys speaking out on the important issues of the day. They were like Asha Kisoon and the others. Asha says she wants transparency and accountability. And they won in Parliament. She doesn't show she colors. Not that we didn't know what they were. Doesn't show she colors. Day one. Already show her colors. Day one. All right? You don't think they're easy? Day one. But we wish these guys nothing but the very best. Again, more voices in the political process could only augur well for our country's future. So we want to wish the movement for unity and democracy, we want to wish them nothing but the very best. Welcome, folks. Welcome. All right, get to work now. Get to work. Honeymoon finish. All right. This is some of the other stuff that we saw in the morning papers today. And this was one letter writer saying that the government of Ghana's weakness brings humiliation to Guyanese people. And this is on that issue with Exxon and insurance, that the government, EPA, should be fighting on the side of Guyanese. But we're fighting against the interests of our Guyanese brothers and sisters. Yeah, fighting against their interests. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Fighting against their interests. Look what else we're following, folks, as we hit the program time. Saw one article out of the Chronicle that said how so many projects are being done by the government in the city. Well, one of them that was numbered there, a letter right in the paper says sloppy work being done in the middle road. Oh, listen to what them boys want to do. Them boys just want to start, you know, and they get themselves a tick, right? Promise delivered once you start. And this is what we're telling those young people there that other political party, is not starting. That's the easy part. Government started that construction work, rehabilitation work in Middle Street with a lot of gusto. It's stalled up right now. The folks in Bartica told us over the weekend that new housing scheme they're starting. They started months ago. Again, good photo ops. Now there's local government election. The whole thing was on pause. 2 weeks ago, they run back in there and start hitting hammer. And hammer hitting nail. And they sign wood to give the impression again, we're looking out for you. But they told us that in Exxon. They told us we're looking out for you. As soon as we go and we can renegotiate, them guys didn't know we are the deal makers. We know the art of the deal. Them guys now saying no renegotiation. Well, they started middle road, hot and sweaty. Move off all those people off the boulevard. Now project stall. And residents are now complaining, sloppy work. Somebody comments said, just like sloppy mouth Edgel. Sheila Boychel, you know you're able, just like sloppy mouth Edgel. Yeah. People see what happening, you know. Some folks are timid to come forward. Much like the folks I would argue in Thailand were timid. You got a whole army, you know, bearing down pressure on the populace, stay in line. Some people still got to speak up. Some people still got to speak up. I'm encouraged. There's a passage of scripture in Proverbs that says, speak for those who can speak for themselves. Judge righteously. That's what motivates me. You know, as a Christian in this business, that's what motivates me. Speak up, stand up. Be counted for those who can't do it for themselves, who too timid, who too frightened. Yep, that's what we got to do. And that's what this letter writing. It's a sloppy work. Sloppy work being done. I wish we had some time to interrogate those missives in the media. Wish we had some more time to interrogate that. Sloppy work being done in the middle road. That's what many folks saying. Sloppy work. They start hot and sweaty, right? Hot and sweaty. And then now they're thinning out. Thinning out, thinning out. Right? And one of the things we didn't forget either, one of the things we didn't forget, you all remember this one? The May Thomas issue. Now the letter writer says, you know, they've been very opaque, Chagrio. It's been very opaque. The folks who said they like transparency. They've been very opaque on the May 2 Thomas issue, visa revoked. Cell phone confiscated. They've been very opaque on that. Folks, these boys got a wickedness like you cannot imagine, like you cannot fathom. You see the machinations over the weekend with the Ghana Press Association? Huh? They want Neil Marks in there. Bordness, he run to court. He run to court. Bordness run to court. Well, Chief Justice give you a high fall. You know? Chief Justice give you a slap kick over the weekend with a stupid motion. I know the attorney, Samuel Glasgow. You know, Samuel is a decent young man in the profession. A decent young man in the profession. And it hurts me personally to hear what the judge said about him. It hurts me personally because I know him better than that. I don't know who gave him this case. Who asked him to take this walk here? Right? But he just set up. I'm surprised that Jack Dillem couldn't find one proper journalist to carry the case to court. That's number one. Right? Me and Foxx Samuel, money got for me. And if fools bringing the money to you, you got to take it. If some clowns and fools bringing money. But I just sad with what Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire said about that case. Misconceive. She said, don't cherry pick the law. You got to read the whole thing. She said, but 3 times, go and read. That's not easy. Well, I know when you take up somebody like, that wasn't for boredness, because she knows he don't read nothing. Boredness don't read. Go and read. Right? Go and read. One thing I think I left with having studied law and passed, I ain't fall out 2nd year, graduated with a Bachelor of Laws degree, my LLB. I'm proud. I don't use it too much, but I got it nonetheless. I'm very proud. Very proud. Right? But that being said, preparation. There is no substitute for preparation. And I have learned, they say success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Success results when preparation meets opportunity. Right? It's nothing like being prepared. She said, go and read. Misconceive. Don't cherry pick parts of the law. He's not even a journalist. He won't bring, he won't bring motion to stop election. And then look the election he won't stop. I'm just saddened by some things that came out of that. Right? Because boredness, doing a disservice to himself, had quite some comments coming out of a publication on that side. If anything can be believed of what we heard, right? In this publication, like who names like any news outlet of worth? They break news. THEY, they break news. Like, that is so stupid. Right? You couldn't dream that up. It had to come from a boredness. Right? Neil Mark is contending that the credibility of the GPA has been greatly harmed. Right? By the folks who voted back for Nazima Ragubir. I'm not even going to elevate some of this stupidness. 75 persons of 100 plus who were eligible, 110 who were eligible to vote, said they wanted Nazima Ragubir. Right? You had the members of the diplomatic corps there, representatives of the diplomatic corps. I didn't hear a squawk out to them to say the thing didn't happen how it was supposed to happen. 75 persons of 110 in their own deliberate judgment, said, we want Nazima Ragubir. And now in this foolish publication, a win is a win. You could come and cry foul. Go with the elections petition. Right? You could cry whatever you want cry now. You could cry foul. A win is a win. I'm trying to circle back to some of this stupidness. I'm honest, I don't even want to quote some of it to elevate it. Some of the absolute stupidness they come talking here about the process, finding all kinds of fault with the process. How win is a win? You can go to the elections petition now. Right? Hear part of what they're saying. Right? Some persons who were actually qualified were denied membership of the association, right? By reason of a direct plan to rig the elections. You see? You see the foolishness? He wants to say he's a bad candidate. He got 25 of 110 votes. What do you call that? Congrats to the new executive And those comments are such a shame and disgrace to the professional people of the Ghana Press Association. But that is the PPP. Whatever they can control, they can tarnish. You're a thief, you rig. Because only them could win anything. You understand that kind of thinking? Only they can win anything. So if Nazima, right, by dint of what she has done in her stint as president of the Ghana Press Association, is deemed worthy by her colleagues of another tenure. And I saw Gordon Mosley outline lots of the accomplishments of Nazima Ragubir. Folks, if you know you're going to bring to the table, don't step up. Let people who can actually do the work go forward. And that is where we got to move as a country. Some people only want the thing for put a piece of paper down and say, hey, I was president of something. He ain't doing one nonsense. You think by virtue who you associate with, you deserve to be president of the Ghana Press Association? By association, because you're running with a camera taking selfie with the first lady in Dubai and all over the place, that's suddenly, you understand what friends, family, and favorites mean now? Because you're a favorite, you deserve to go head the Press Association over people who've been there and who have a genuine interest in uplifting media workers in this country. Give us a break. So they're coming to say the thing was rigged, and well, I saw right-thinking members of the diplomatic corps represented here. What are they saying? What are they saying? Because he received 25 votes. You know, Mr. Popular. Because he received 25 votes. Right? He think he would get 75 because he all over the place with the first lady, posing up, taking out pictures. Right? He can go with a landslide. You better slide out and behave yourself. Sit down. Better slide out and behave yourself. Humble yourself and come again. Humble yourself and come again. You forget who you are. That's number one. You've forgotten who you are as a journalist. And you think because he's a friend and a favorite, that should guarantee you. You gotta move away from that nonsense and get back to a merit-based policies, a merit-based politics, a merit-based process. Too many people in this country holding positions they should not hold. They should not hold. Nothing in their life said they should ever sit down where they are. You know, that's what happened to me is what happened when you put friends, family, and favorite in some positions. A professional person who is there would understand you have a total line as a professional, as a PS. You know, but these glam girls and GQ boys that we got here, photo op people, that's all the concern about. And who they're going hunting with this weekend, and who they're going hunting with that's what they're interested in. Move out the place, man. Move out the place. They got people who got people at heart and who wants to work for them. And when you read what Gordon Mosley said about his colleague, Nazima Ragubir, and what she has done for the Ghana Press Association, how could you not ask her to remain and, you know, try to finish off some stuff and do some more stuff? Then somebody else going to come and add to that. That's the nonsense we got as a politics in this country. And they can't get away. They're going to try to break it down and dismantle the whole thing. It's good for you, Jaglio. Damn clown. All the nonsense you talk trying to give Neil Marks an edge. All the foolishness. Stay out. It don't concern you. You got people in there who supported of your cause. Fair enough. It's a small country. It's a small country. And we very, very vocal about we politics. They got people in APNU AFC camp, they got people in PPP camp. Fair enough. Fair enough. what we can ask is not to have that filter in to professional journalism, and that stories aren't skewed unnecessarily, right? And the facts ain't skewed unnecessarily in anybody's favor, right? But y'all want a pack of foolishness. You guys are empty head clown sitting on opposite a vice president, being fed all the questions, can't ask an intelligent question to save your life. And y'all think y'all deserve membership in the Ghana Press Association for go there and embarrass all of we. Right? Embarrass all of us. Right? If you get to somewhere because you got a friend, God bless you. But that's not the way. See y'all friends pulling back now and y'all crying out. Pulling back and y'all crying out. So congrats to the Ghana Press Association. That's like Thailand all over again. Whole thing blew up in the face. All the machinations, all the foolishness blew up in the face. Mr. Jack Joe gone out on press conferences vilifying Nazima Ragobir for no reason. Why? Because she's Indian and she don't like the PPP. But I can't even say she don't like the PPP. Don't let me say that. She doesn't respond to them the way they would like. Let me put it in that way. Right? She don't want to do their bidding. She wants to be a professional journalist. That is her crimes. And he gone in his press conference and he vilified her. Right? Vilify her. Wicked. Wicked. What y'all gotta do is sit down with NCN and see how NCN can pull up their numbers. We got 1,200 people watching us right now. NCN can't get 200. And none of their shows. Y'all gotta sit down and figure that out. The time you're pulling down people and doing your stupidness and foolishness. Sit down as policymakers with those people and say, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Right? How are we gonna make a difference here? Sit down with your marketing team, your program team. Forget friends, family, and favorite. If somebody's qualified, bring them in. I availed myself to studies at university in law and in communications. Me asking, just drop out the roof. Some of what we do here is what I sat down in a class and learned the theory and now marrying it with the practical. If people are meritorious, they got young people studying in economics, law and medicine and you name it, across the faculties, across the disciplines. And you could bring somebody from Timbuktu, empty head like bird nest, and put them in front of them. Are you wicked? Wicked. And then tell people who qualified, degrees to the name, go and take a 10-hour a day walk for 40,000. And when we want y'all to shop at campaigns, you better be ready. That's where y'all got for Guyanese people. And a woman who qualified, fighting to build capacity and empower media workers. Yeah, why she take the back? Right? Because y'all buy just land back from he sojourns to his many countries. That's when he CV. I walk around behind the first lady in 50 countries. He must come and go in front of people who on the ground here working hard. Flap y'all. Flap y'all. I finished now. Flap y'all. Congrats to the Ghana Press Association. As long as we have breath, we can continue to talk. Flap y'all. You had a qualified, I saw somebody make a comment there. You had a qualified permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, then Ministry of Public Security, right? McCalman. What was her name? Something McCalman. Danielle McCalman. came through the ranks and in the system. They moved that woman out of the way to put me. Woman got a master's degree. They put you in some back office to lick, stamp, an envelope. A master's degree to bring in me with a diploma. Right? Who never man a ministry in her life and was some assistant, somebody, someplace. Right? McCalmont worked her way up in the public sector, worked her way, managed that ministry without scandal, took over from a predecessor, I think, who fell ill or something like that, manned her way. Don't come wrong with funny. Don't come wrong with funny. Don't come wrong as funny. As soon as they go in, they move McCalmont out of the way. And they bring the girl May. McCalmont visa still intact though. If she go. McCalmont visa, I'm certain, intact. Intact. Right? Younger family, friends, and favorites. Intact. Professional people moved out of the way to do nonsense. Right? And I don't buy that if you are affiliated with a political party, you can be professional. Because you will disqualify every Guyanese with that. People can have political leanings, expressed or otherwise, and should be able to get a job and work in this country. I don't know what Miss McCalmont political leanings are. The woman was qualified. She was in the system. They bring she in. They bring me in, knock out McCalmont. But McCalmont visa is still intact. And she's still trudging along, trudging along, trudging along. And look at the disgrace. That is me. Me as an individual should do the professional thing, no matter what party. Move up the scene, go somewhere else in the public sector. Somewhere else. Put down your head and do some diligent work. That's what public sector life is about. It's not about taking out picture and who you're liming with. Right? And posing some unnecessary conflict of interest. It's like you telling people, right? He can be my friend and I can give you contract and me ain't got no time. Flap y'all. And we can go hunting and camping and fishing and so on. So up then the radar of the US Embassy. So me, I say real, give a PS. Bringing disgrace to the public sector in this country. Step down. If you want to be tested real, just step down and do that. You know, you want to be a social media influencer in that way? And on the social scene with people in that way? You know, taking out 40 pictures and none to do with work. You can do that. You can do that. But step down and let the work go forward, man. Let the work go forward. This nonsense that you're all doing. Trying to move progressive, hard-working Guyanese who got a right in this country like everybody else. All the way to make room for clowns. You all had good? You all had good? See, the fellow went to study someplace. He went to study someplace. Hope he get a scholarship on merit. And he there all over, flying around the place, taking out picture for the little girl. Flying around the place. And he on a scholarship supposed to at the university studying. But because y'all are favored, and because y'all are friends, and now you want to come and take over, it's just y'all better be like the people in Thailand. You better be like the people in Thailand. We got to grow up here and go there and fight. Right? Political fight. You see? The Move Forward movement in Thailand, they ain't worried but military in charge. It's we country, flap y'all. We got a right to talk. Military in charge. We can give up with boys, right? Just like that. Move Forward say, no, don't come wrong with funny. It's we country. No, we ain't backing down. And I'm happy. I am happy that a woman, Nazima Ragabir, had the balls, say moving, Jaguar to talk whatever he want to talk. Ballhead bastard, talk whatever you want to talk. I am moving. I got it right here. I am moving. You want to bring Neil Marx? I am moving. Let me fight. 75 votes later to 25. The rest is history. Now we're crying foul. Now we're crying foul. When you should have been looking after media workers' interests, you're flying around the world. You're in Dubai, you're in New York, you're at Van Arpels, you're on boat sailing. People on the ground here, you're doing the work. And you want to swoop down. You land back home from your sojourns. You want to swoop down and land in front. Swoop down and land in front. Because Nazima refused to be a house slave. Right? Nazima refused to be an indentured servant. You want to run in front. You just land. Right? Who vex? 75 to 25 votes later. Rest is history. The rest is history. Folks, that's our time this morning. That's our time this morning. Right? We ain't vilifying nobody here. We talking about issues. Don't get mixed up. Right? And we heart and dark. That's why we can give the, what's the people name? The new political movement. We can give them time and reprogram. Right? Because their ascension don't affect us. We know who we are as a people. Right? Movement for unity and democracy. What they do don't affect us. Politics is capitalism. If people like you, they like you. If people like them, they like them. We ain't gonna beat nobody into submission. So like we. So we ain't printing no story on them. We ain't talking about them. We ain't giving them no attention. They got enough following in this country. It's these jagabats that believe the oil money is just for one set of people. They got enough political space in this country for all of us. They got enough space in the Guyana Press Association for all of us. We ain't got to fight down. I sure Nazima don't want to be a dictator. She wanted 20 years as president, or 40 or 50. She can get a good run, do some stuff, put some ideas forward, execute a couple of things, and then she can give it up to somebody else. The same way it was given up for her to come now. But some people now feel they got a birthright. Country can't run unless it's run under them. That's foolishness. That is foolishness. Country can't run good if they run under them. Black man can't lead me. And folks on the other side too could say, Indian man can't rule me. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. We got bright Guyanese, period. We got Guyanese, period. Stop the foolishness. Some of us came here, against we will. If thought at one time we came for betterment, some of us were indentured to the land. Well, all of us here. We're here now. And together we can all prosper. We can all prosper. We got enough money for all of us. Folks, as I close, and I close along, I was like a preacher this morning. Half hour now, I close in. I don't know why in my mind, for some reason, I thought Bartica was an island. I don't know why. But as we were walking, I got lost for a reason in Bartica over the weekend. I saw land as far as the eye can see is land. Why are people fighting for land in this country? Soon as you pop out the womb, you should get 10 acres automatically. Soon as you pop out the womb, 10 acres assigned to you. We got land in this country. Unimaginable. But it's being kept for friends, family, and favorites. One man like Sue, they say is arguably the largest landholder in this country. Why is that? Right? And Savitri and Tom can get a half acre and a mule. And one man could own 500 acres. Something wrong with that in this one Guyana. I see land as far as the eye could see. I don't know why I had the thought that Bartica was surrounded by water. But the longer we live, the more we learn, thankfully. Land as far as the eye can see. And we fighting. And people trying to suppress us from owning. You could only get a 0-point-something acre. And people could come from Timbuktu and get 500, 600 acres of land at next to nothing prices. And you got to hear and suffer. That mentality, we got to run from that. And we got to turn we face against people who got a mentality. You got enough for all of we. So finally, folks, congrats to the folks at the Ghana Press Association, the new office holder, and those who are returning. All right, congrats to the president. Well done, well done, well done. We're looking forward to good works from you guys. We're looking forward to good works from you guys. They saw a big flashy poster on social media. Elect this body. Well, fancy gallop. I got a friend at Sabbath News. That's what she said. Fancy gallop. Folks, that's it for us this morning. That's it for us this morning. Fancy gallop. What else I can tell you? Fancy gallop. That's my time, guys. See you guys back in the podcast. Well, it'll be almost 2 hours now, so I know if you have still one podcast now. Fancy gallop. Chanel and all the other guys joining us, share the live as you go. Smash that emoji button and partner with us. We can't do these programs without y'all. Partner with us, good folks. Partner with us. Yep, partner with us, folks. We can't do it without y'all. Right? Be available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram and Western Union as well. We can't do these programs without y'all. You hear? They got so many parts of this country who want to go and bring credible, valid information for you folks. We can't do it without y'all. So if you got anything of value from our program today, consider partnering with us. Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union, and hand delivered as well. We got another one. Hand delivered as well. Hand delivered, hand carried. Thanks for spending this time with us. That's my time, guys. And that's our program. Stay safe out there. Stay safe. Gwyneth Anderson and Donna McDonald. Seaboard George, we see you. Out Front Parts, we see you. Maxine Monroe, Terrence, Ronald Hanover, we see you as well. Queen's Love, we see you too. Guys, share the live, smash that emoji button, and let me do it.